Gakkou Gurashi episode 4. The series is beautiful. It's just straight up beautiful. I'm in love because the tone shifts this episode so seamless. So seamless. Like, between the Miki feels, the fucking KEI-CHAN feels, dude. And this focus that we get on Miki's character, which I love. You know, the deep survival horror elements which they're really starting to dive into now and getting the real gritty nature of a zombie apocalypse, which is what I needed this series to do for me, is tackling that so well, at the same time blending it seamlessly with these fucking moe scenes, dude. I'm fucking done, dude. This episode killing me with the feels, the slow burn Megu-nee feels, dude, and it's undeniable now. Like I said it last week, but once again we get just more in-your-face undeniable signs that people... Once you key in on these facts, you can't deny it. But I'm going to do more Megu-nee theory crafting later on. We'll say that for later, because we got to talk about Mii. We got to talk about the goddess K. We got to go in. But this episode, what Lerche is doing with this series is phenomenal. Throughout these first 4 episodes, the way they're shifting the focus, you know, the temporal shifts, going back into the past and getting these character focuses and seeing how the sequences when the zombie apocalypse first began and whatnot, you know, how they're delving into the survival horror elements and, you know, kind of getting this kind of, you know, we have to ration this. You see the water with, you know, in Mii and K's room and everything. Like, it's so beautiful how this series comes together and they're actually getting all of these elements right. But I digress. Let's dive into the episode. You know when I knew it was gonna be fucking real with this episode? When fucking I saw the, you know, Toramaru's owner, fucking Mii-chan. Like, I saw this Mii-chan and I'm like, oh, she's a cute old lady. That's Toramaru's owner. So we got Toramaru through Miki. Okay, now we'll get to that in a second, right? As soon as I saw her and she walked off, and I was like, yo, Mii-chan's gonna be zombified, isn't she? And when I saw zombie Mii-chan, dude, I was like, yo. Yeah, shit is too real. And I have to say, some people I've seen, you know, dislike how Lerche is handling censorship with that kind of faded, leaving out, you know, a lot of the gory elements and having that kind of distorted, you know, black air around the zombies and everything like that. I think stylistically, it's dope and it's tasteful. I fuck with that. I really do enjoy the way it's done. Would I like to see some fucking crazy in-your-face gore? Yes, that's how I am, but it's not necessary, especially for the stylistic value of the series and how it's forged and everything like that. But I digress, dude. KEI-CHAN, she's definitely dead. R.I.P. to an amazing fucking girl. Like, straight up, if she was alive or if she proves to be alive, I don't know how it's possible, but maybe she can come back, okay? She'll probably be my best girl, because here's how it is. We gotta take some time out for this, even though, you know, this episode, much deeper things to be talking about, but we gotta talk about best girl real quick, because 4 episodes in, I've got my list locked down. Megu-nee, #1, and this shit with Megu-nee is gonna kill me. It's been eating away at me for the past 3 episodes, but I digress. Megu-nee #1, Kurumi and Yuki tied at #2, because what Yuki does for this series is indisposable. It's too real. It's too fucking real what her mentality does for the progression of this series. And Kurumi is just badass as fuck. I love her, dude. She went in this episode, dude. Going for Megu-nee's car, dude. Fucking slicing them, hacking at zombies with the shovel, bouncing off cars. I was like, yo, she put her hair up. I was like, oh my god, Kurumi's amazing. Alright, I digress. And then we have Miki and Yuri tied at the bottom, and really Yuri is higher up than Mii, and don't get me wrong, I really like Miki's character, and I got the feels for her heavy this episode, but at the same time, she disappointed me. So that's pretty much my layout, and if Kay's alive, Kay's gonna slide in right up there with Megu-nee somewhere, okay, because she's fucking amazing. Like, I love how they delved into the bond between Kay and Miki's character, you know, and I'm not gonna be the one to say, you know, potentially there was some Yuri relationship going on there, and that would have been dope as fuck for me. I got that vibe from it, right? But at the very least, they were best friends, and seeing how they got into this situation together, how this mall was like taken over within seconds, and everything just went around. They locked themselves away in this room, and they were there for quite some time, dude. You see the bottles of water piling up. They have Toramaru there after they save him from the crazy demented owner Mii-chan that transformed and whatnot. Shit was crazy. Shit was real, right? And they were there for some time. I would guess about a week, judging on the bottles of water and everything like that. And I love how this is what, you know, aside from what they've done in the first 3 episodes, which has been done very well in terms of survival horror elements, like, I guarantee, from my perspective, being a huge, you know, survival horror fanatic, I like what they're doing and how they set it up. But this episode really solidifies it for me, you know. They're talking about the rations. You see the psychological deterioration of their bond, kind of. And Kei, you know, being agitated by the fact that she wants to go outside. She wants to check out the situation. And she can't just be cooped up in here and wait there. While at the same time, Miki's like, yo, she's content to just be here with her best friend, her lover, and stay locked down. And so when Kei is like, yo, I'm just being selfish, and to see her continued demeanor, even though it kills her, and to see how this bond kind of, because, like, I'm surprised at the level of strength of the bond that, you know, the girls within the school have at this stage in the present day. But that's something I've been wanting to talk about, and potentially there could be problems and issues with that going forward, depending on how the series goes. But I digress. To see that happen, to be like, see Kei's mindset and be like, yo, I just want to take a shower, like, what the fuck is this? And delve into those more gritty aspects. I'm like, yo, perfect. Fucking perfect. That's what I need to really solidify this series. And it was done so well this episode, right? But when Kei is like, yo, I'm just being selfish, I'm like, yo, no. Really, Miki's the one being selfish right now. And that's what pained me. And that's what I'm kind of a little bit upset with Miki's character at this point. Like, I got the feels for her, but Kei feels are above and beyond. I'm just like, she's fucking amazing. And you gotta fucking not man up, but you're being a little bitch right now, Miki. Like, seriously, you can't just stay locked away here when you've been there for that long. Eventually, the rations are gonna run out. You have to assess the situation at some point. You can't just cower in fear in this room. And Kei realizes that fact. And granted, yes, that Miki survived and Kei's probably dead. And you can't put that on the fact that help did come in the form of, you know, Kurumi and you know, Yuri and Yuki. But I digress. Kei showed initiative. Kei went in. That's what needed to be done, and I fucking respect that resolve. I respect her trying to go outside and find help, and ultimately caring about her friend to have stayed there that long and to genuinely want to find help and bring them back to find her. And if she is actually alive somehow, I think she's dead. I think she died, and we are on a cliffhanger. I'm sure we'll find out more about what happened next week, or if we don't, that'll be fine with me. If the focus just kind of shifts and then we go back to it at a later date, that'll actually be great direction in my opinion. But despite that, we get the whole dynamic between Miki and Toramaru, why Toramaru is so scared of her. You see her breaking down after Kei leaves and yelling at him, everything like that. So I love the setup, dude. That final scene, dude, after they drive out of the school and you see them driving into the sunset, you know, before I'm assuming they encounter Miki and everything like that, and they rescue her. I was just like, the music that was playing, the BGMs, the aesthetic, the color palettes, what Lerche is doing with this series stylistically, the direction, certain just chorus and variations about it, I'm just like, yo, it's beautiful, okay? But I digress. Great episode. Let's get into the Megu-nee corner now. It's time to end the review with that, here's the Megu-nee facts type shit, okay? Here's the deal. Once again, Yuki, when engaging with Megu-nee, and this proves to me that Megu-nee died sometime after the rooftop scene, but sometime before this Miki rescue. Because in this episode, first of all, the very fact that she didn't drive her own car confirms it to me. And the way Kurumi was like, I guess I'll drive to, you know, Yuri, just continues to solidify it for me. You see, you know, when Yuki leaves the room and she's walking towards the staff room, the way they directed that scene, the way it was shot, it was so eerie. There was a feel about it where, and the way that, you know, once again, Yuri and Kurumi were talking, it just makes it seem like Megu-nee is no longer around at this point. And yes, they address her indirectly for the sake of Yuki's psyche, but it seems like, yes, it very well can be that Megu-nee is part of Yuki's delusions. She could be a ghost, like I said, in that crazy supernatural shit, but most likely it's part of Yuki's delusions at this point, and they're trying to keep her psyche intact, so they go along with it, right? The very fact that you saw the scenes where people get into the car. Like, straight up, when Kurumi gets the car, the very fact that she's driving in and of itself signals this to me, but Megu-nee just somehow teleports into the back seat. And through many lines, but this line in particular solidifies for me, because Megu-nee is like, please don't crash my car. Kurumi says nothing, okay? Yuki's like, are you sure you can drive? Basically, every statement that Megu-nee makes before the other girls respond to her or say anything, Yuki reiterates it in another way. And dude, it's gonna be real fucked up if this and the perception that we're seeing right now is also part of Yuki's delusion. So when it warps, just like that tone shift in episode 1, we're going to see how the state really is, and we're going to see Yuki kind of split personality-wise, talking as Megu-nee and then talking as herself and whatnot. And that's going to be fucked up, dude. Maybe throwing out more crazy theories with Megu-nee, maybe she's a ghost and she's possessing Yuki at this point and they're sharing the body and whatnot. The supernatural element of it is crazy. It could be possible, but honestly, my main theory with series, which is most likely and probably going to happen, is that it's part of Yuki's delusions at this point. After Megu-nee died, she maintained her to keep her stable somehow. That's what her mind did. And I really want to find it. It's killing me, dude. The Megu-nee feelings are going to eat away at me because she's my fucking best girl right now. It's too real. But that's pretty much it. Yuki and KURUMI #2 episode was fucking amazing. I love what they're doing with this series. Let me know your thoughts. I hope we get more info on KEI-CHAN. Hopefully KEI-CHAN is alive, but I think she's dead. And hopefully we do go back to the scenes, you know, finish up what we got this episode and actually see them encounter Miki for the first time. But if we don't and it's just back to that later date, like I said, I'll be fine with it. So let me know your thoughts, and I'm out. Peace.